So welcome to the 2019 parent meeting, which is the virtual parent meeting. I hope to use this so you don't have to come into school. If you have any questions, you're always welcome to give me a call, 585-704-2211. Or you can contact me through my email address, which you've received multiple times. So anyway, without further ado, here we go. So the first thing is the course. The course is divided into two portions. There is a lecture portion, and then there's also a portion that has to do with behind the wheel. The lecture portion we will cover the laws and regulations for New York State. We will cover the New York State Graduated License Program. That means you start with a permit. You would go from a permit into a junior license, and then from a junior license you progress into a senior license. We will talk about the road signs, traffic controls, road markings. We will talk about that in class. We'll talk about that extensively because that's something that many young students or first young drivers miss because there's so much of it on the road. So we will spend a considerable amount of time in class talking about those. We will talk about the proper mechanics and skills necessary to control the vehicle. It seems to us, as an accomplished driver, it seems as a pretty straightforward process, but for the young driver, those can be pretty daunting. We will talk extensively about safety concerns, and safety is a big thing with driver's ed. That's one of the principal reasons for it, is to make sure that these young people stay safe on the road. The behind the wheel or the drive class, that portion, we spend a considerable amount of time talking about visibility concerns. Lots of students don't understand what they're looking at or what to look for when they're driving. So we talk a lot about that, make sure that they are paying attention and getting visual cues for what they should be looking at. We'll talk about operating the interior controls, other things other than the radio. They're usually pretty good at doing the radio. We'll talk about the other things, the windshield wipers, the lights, the flashers, the different kinds of controls for the comfort system, the heat and air conditioning, all that kind of stuff. We will talk about those and be able to do those while you're driving. That's another interesting task to learn. We'll talk a lot about the vehicle controls in class, and then in the vehicles, we'll practice the vehicle controls. Turning, it's more than just turning, steering, and accelerating and braking. Those skills involve both fine and gross motor coordination, so we'll talk a lot about that as well. That gross and fine motor coordination is what the first week is a lot about. And again, we'll make sure that we take the safety concerns and things that we've learned in class and practice those out on the road. The lecture in class is going to be composed of some textbook components. The textbooks we will use are the New York State Driver's Manual. There's a lot we will use in there, as well as things that are other textbooks we may have. We will use Quizlet and Kahoot, do quizzes on that. There are also a new program called Nearpod we will use to deliver the instruction as well. We'll be using a lot of YouTube videos to see that looks at not just what vehicles are doing, but how to control the vehicles, how to practice different skills. We'll look at NYSTASIA, which is a New York State Drivers Training Safety Education Association. That is a program, an organization of which I'm a member, and we learn a lot about. That's our professional development program. So we'll use that as well. We will also have the advantage of using the Canandaigua City Police Department. They will come in and provide some lecture classes for us, as well as some other people from Ontario County and the town of Canandaigua. The driving class, the students will be in multiple vehicles. They'll be in a SUV. They will be in a sedan. They will be in a minivan, and they will be in a pickup truck, because primarily those are the vehicles that they will end up driving in. We will do a parking lot rodeo, which is basically a safe way of practicing the skills before going out on the road. So we'll practice our parking, we'll practice our turning, we'll practice our pulling to and from the curb, we'll practice parallel parking, 3-point turns, K-turns, 2-point turns. We'll practice all of those in the parking lot before going out on the road. It's a less dangerous situation for them and for us and for the people on the road. The students will be doing rural driving. They will be doing some suburban driving. They will be driving in a city. The cities that they'll drive on, we will try to be able to get up to the city of Rochester, but we'll probably end up getting in Henrietta or some of the other cities. And we'll also be doing some highway driving. We will drive on the thruway. We will drive on 490, 590. So the students will be doing a lot of all different types of driving. So when they are prepared for their driver's test, they are prepared for more than just one type of driving. During the driving, we also, like I said, practice our parking maneuvers. Things like street horizontal parking and then diagonal parking, parallel parking. We'll do a lot of parking lot parking because, as you can tell from going to any parking lot, people have a tough time with that. We will talk about some DMV forms in the class, but in this parent meeting, the DMV forms that you need to know of are the MV 278 and the MV 285. Those are the two big forms. The 278 is also known as the 5-hour course. The 285, that is the form that you get once you complete driver's ed. The student does not need to do both of them. If they do the driver's ed course, they will get the 285. They do not need to take the 278. If they have already taken the 278, that just makes them able to take the driver's test, but the 285 does the same thing at the end. The other form that you need to be aware of is something called the MV 262. The MV 262 is a form that looks like this. This is the certification of supervised driving. This is filled out by the parents. You are attesting the fact that they have done 50 hours of driving, 50 hours of supervised driving. At least 15 of it has to be after sunset, so driving at night. They can drive at night with you, but they should do at least 15 hours, so a total of 50 hours overall. Okay. The 285, the MV 285 can get you an insurance discount. You can talk to your insurance company, and they may be able to offer that. Not all insurance carriers do that, but most do. When you do that, you will get the MV 285. So let me back up to this. The MV 285 will be delivered at the conclusion of the course. That is a very important document to hold on to and keep track of. You do not want to lose this. I would make multiple copies of it. I would make those copies in a safe place. I would take pictures of it, all sorts of kinds of things. But ultimately, when you take your driver's test, or when the student takes his or her driver's test, they will submit the top half of the 285. Don't do both because you won't be able to get it back. Make sure that it is noted by the driving evaluator that you have submitted the 285. Sometimes the DMV will misplace that, which means you have to get a new form. It's not simply the same form, it's a new form because it has to be printed exactly the way they're all numbered, and so they all have to be recreated. So make sure you keep track of that MV 285 once you get it. Like I said, there's possible insurance discounts. To communicate with me, you can email me at my email address. You can also call me at call or text me at my phone number, which is 585-704-2211. The overall program coordinator, that is Gregory Main. He's at Wayne Finger Lakes BOCES. If you wanted to get in contact with him, you could. He'll probably just refer you back to me, though. So contact me first if you have any issues. The other thing I would like you to join is I'd like you to join a Remind group. It is a text group. I will not blow up your phones. I will not be sending lots and lots of text messages, just occasional text messages. One of the text messages, in order to do this, I want you to text at CA19DEPAR, as in at Canandaigua Academy 19. Driver's Ed, parents at CA19DEPAR. You're going to text that to 81010 and you will join the Parent Remind group. That is not the Student Remind group, that's the Parent Remind group. So occasionally I will send out messages to you. One of the things that I will send out to you is the curriculum. The summer curriculum is so you know what we're doing in class and you can support that by driving at home. So this is the summer curriculum. The first 3 days you can see here, we will be starting out in the parking lot. We will not leave the parking lots other than to go from one parking lot to the other. We'll be doing a lot of the parking lot skills where we practice those fine and gross motor coordination skills. The fourth day is when we first go out on the road. We'll be going around to different places. We'll be pulling to and from the curb. We will start with no curbs, where it's just the pavement going right into to grass. Then we will go to soft concrete, rounded concrete curbs, and eventually we'll move towards granite curbing, which is a little bit more scary. We will also do some on-road tracking at suburban speeds and rural speeds, so driving around a little bit. We'll talk about the Smith system and the SIPTE system. You can ask them about that once we do that on the third or fourth day. They should know about that. So anyway, you can see we'll progress through the skills. I want to point out this day here, day 12 and day 13. Day 12 and 13, those are the 2 days reserved for a weird schedule. Day 12, we will have limited numbers of lectures and limited numbers of behind the wheel. We will be doing a parking lot rodeo with the Canandaigua City Police. On day 13, we'll have a safety day at the Ontario County Safety Training Facility. The dates of those two days is, those safety days are July 24th and 25th. If you have not already looked at this link, you want to check out this link here. This on July 23rd, lectures are going to be the same. Behind the wheel will be the same. The only difference is the lectures will be provided by the Canandaigua City Police Department. On July 24th, the behind the wheel classes in the morning will be combined. So 6:25 and 8 o'clock, they'll be combined at 8 to 9:30. The lecture for both groups will be at 6:25. That is a change. At 9:35 and 11:10, behind the wheel classes, they're combined. Those, again, they will have a lecture at 11:10 to 12:40. If those times don't work, please talk to me ahead of time. The only lectures on July 24th and August 20th will be at 6:25 and 11:10. So plan accordingly. They had that for a while, so make sure you're aware of that. On July 25th, both lectures will be held from 8 to 9:30. That is a change also. All the lectures will be held from 8 to 9:30. The lectures will be at Canandaigua. The behind the wheel course will be presented from 10 until noon at the Ontario County Safety Training Facility. The students will get information about that. That was July 25th, so make sure that they are there for that day. Okay, back to this. So if you have any questions, please contact me. Individual teachers may reach out their own way, but if you have any questions or comments or anything, please contact me via email. Thank you. Have a great day.